Tonight on TV2 News, the process of applying to colleges and taking standardized tests has changed. We speak to Kent State officials on what they are looking for in prospective students.
And new job opportunities available in Akron as Amazon is opening a brand new fulfillment center inside of an old mall. Over 1,500 positions available for hire.
We've got some Tuesday night action tonight as Kent State travels to Bowling Green. I'll preview the matchup when TV2 News returns.
Obamacare's future is being debated in the Supreme Court, how the conservative justices are leaning, and more on the act's fate. TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Tuesday evening. Thank you for being with us tonight. There are new adjustments to Kent State's admissions process, and that's where we'll begin. I'm Rachel Gross.
And I'm Chris Abreu. Now, the university, like many others, is reimagining the college application process as COVID-19 has halted many standardized tests and families' abilities to pay application fees.
Our reporter Alexandria Manthey spoke with university officials on the changes incoming freshmen can expect. Hi, Alexandria.
Hi guys, that is right. I sat down with Vincent Slomsky, the Director for Strategic Communications and Enrollment Management, to discuss how the pandemic has affected enrollment right here at KSU. The COVID-19 pandemic has created many challenges across the country. The same is true for Kent State University admissions and enrollment, so they have made some changes.
So for the month of November, Kent State University has decided to waive application fees. And so what this means is that if you are a domestic student, that means a student living here in the United States, that you can apply for free to Kent State University at the undergraduate level or the graduate school level.
This waived fee is to help out families who may be struggling financially.
We don't want a $50 application fee to stand in the way of students and families' ability to apply to Kent State.
Testing requirements have also changed. Kent State is no longer requiring ACT or SAT scores.
Students out there either haven't been able to take the ACT or SAT because of COVID. A lot of the testing sites have been shut down or very limited availability. And so again, that was a barrier that we were hearing, is that, well, I haven't gotten to take my ACT yet or my SAT yet, and I can't apply. So we waived that.
The enrollment department has decided to take a more student-by-student approach for application decision.
You mentioned it. Do you volunteer? You know, what do you do outside of the classroom? Do you play sports? Do you get involved with the community? And then also just kind of your college prep. So are the classes that you're taking in high school, are they preparing you for college? And so we look more holistically, we dive a little bit deeper into the person.
The university is expecting higher enrollment this year.
Things are really picking up now that we've entered November. We expect that this application fee waiver will boost those numbers even more.
The enrollment department has had many challenges talking to future flashes because of limiting contact due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They have had to get creative with their events.
We're literally taking Kent State on the road to Cincinnati, Toledo, Columbus, and 2 spots in Cleveland to drive-in movie theaters so that folks can really start learning about Kent State even though they can't come to campus.
If potential students are interested in taking advantage of this free enrollment for the month of November, they can visit kent.edu for more information. Reporting for TV2 News in the Franklin Hall newsroom, I'm Alexandria Manthey. Back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Alex. The university is also underway with its launch of Giving Tuesday, a month-long celebration of philanthropy. The university says this year donors are able to get more involved than ever. The campaign will feature 35 different university funds, all of which community donors can pledge donations to. New weekly incentives will be announced every Tuesday through December 1st, such as an extra $500 provided for every 20 donors that give $25 or more to a featured fund. The university also reported an anonymous donor has already pledged $100,000 in matching gift money to their emergency fund.
And Kent State will hold its annual Veterans Day commemoration through a virtual webcast on November 11th at 11 a.m. The ceremony is meant to honor veterans and includes a pre-recorded flag-raising ceremony and remarks from KSU President Todd Dyken. You can find further details on Kent State's website as the information updates.
Moving off campus, the city of Kent is trying to help students get into the swing of things next semester, literally. Construction is now underway for the city's first hammock park. Soon, the Kent community will be able to relax and swing in what is currently the wildflower preservation area, located in between the Kent Police Department and 345 flats. The city has not released a time frame for the park's completion.
That sounds really nice. Hello, Portage County. I am your weatherman, Dan, and today would have been a beautiful day to swing in a hammock. It was absolutely gorgeous weather conditions today, reaching nearly 80 degrees with very few clouds in the sky. That's been a trend for the past few days, and we will be seeing a few more of those second summer days ahead, including with the current conditions in Kent. While the sunset did just set at 5:15 p.m. sharp, it is 71 degrees outside, and it still feels pretty warm, like a nice breezy 73. Wind coming in from the south at 4 miles per hour. Humidity at 49. That will increase tonight as we may see some showers later on. Dew point at 56, visibility at 4, but now it's dark. You won't be able to see much in front of your face. And you can see that these warmer climates are shared all across Ohio. We are in fact experiencing warmer than average temperatures by in the range of 15 to 35 degrees higher than normal. That's really surprising. Now, as you can see, it's 58 in Akron, 53 in Columbus, 50 all the way down in Cincinnati. Moving on to your hourly, tonight at 9, we will see winds pick up in the range of 15 to 20 miles per hour with strong gusts on top of that. Later on towards midnight, we will see a 30% chance of rain with an increase of thunderstorms, the probability coming in at 3 a.m. later on tonight. Now, that will last anywhere from 5 to 6 a.m. in the morning, but after that, we may be looking at clearer days. But as for now, that's all I have for you for weather right now. I've been your weatherman, Dan. Be sure to stick around for the weekly after the break. Back to you.
Thanks for that report, Dan. Amazon announced an opening of a 640,000 square foot fulfillment center in Akron. The employees there are responsible for handling inventory, packing and shipping, and network logistics, working alongside Amazon Robotics. The new center is also hiring, with full-time employees receiving $15 per hour in full medical, vision, and dental insurance.
An altercation in the Cuyahoga County Jail Monday led to an inmate's death. 48-year-old Sean Trawick was beaten to death by his 51-year-old cellmate. Trawick was pronounced dead at Metro Health Hospital, where examiners say his cause of death was blunt force trauma to his head. No weapons were found in the cell, and Cuyahoga County officials and Cleveland police are still investigating.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers are offering up to $10,000 to anyone who can provide further information in the death of 37-year-old Erica Weems. Weems was found shot dead in her home in West Akron. Her family and NBA star LeBron James have put out calls for answers for the identification, arrest, and indictment of the person responsible. An additional $5,000 is being added to the reward by the Summit County Crime Stoppers. People are protesting outside of the Supreme Court in a decision that could affect Biden's upcoming presidency. What this means coming up.
Pfizer confirmed a new COVID-19 vaccine that is over 90% effective. The plans for delivering it to the public when we return in 60 seconds.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Thank you for sticking with us. Kent State updated its COVID-19 dashboard today, reporting 81 new COVID-19 cases for the week of Sunday, November 1st. Now, this is up from 56 new cases the week before. There have been 485 total cases of coronavirus related to the Kent campus since July 7th. The Ohio Pandemic Team is coming to campus again this Sunday from 2 to 6 on the second floor of the Student Center. This comes just in time for Thanksgiving break, so students can get tested for the virus before going home.
The Ohio Department of Health reported an additional 6,508 cases today, a new record for the state. There are now more than 260,000 cases. Governor Mike DeWine is set to address Ohioans in a statement on tomorrow night. In a tweet made earlier today, DeWine said that the data was alarming and, quote, "Everyone must take this pandemic seriously. It's up to all of us to stop the spread."
As the cases of COVID-19 rise in the United States, a new vaccine gives officials hope in ending the pandemic. CNN's John Lawrence reports.
The United States has yet to turn the corner on COVID-19, but
help is on the way with a vaccine. It's more than 90% effective, which is extraordinary and will play a major role in what the outcome of this is going to be.
Pfizer says that rate is based on early research done on more than 43,000 study participants and could change.
I think that likely, based on impact, that will be the greatest medical advance in the last 100 years, if you think about it, right?
The drug maker says it hopes to be able to seek emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration before the end of the month.
It is extraordinary that it's coming at a time that the world needs it the most.
There have been more than 10 million known cases in the U.S., according to Johns Hopkins University. And despite the progress toward an effective vaccine, medical experts say people still need to be vigilant.
There is a long road between actually getting the vaccine approved and getting it distributed to hundreds of millions of Americans. And so we really have to keep up our guard in the meantime.
Another sign of advancement, the FDA approves Eli Lilly's coronavirus treatment for emergency use. This after research found the antibody appears to treat mild and moderate infections. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
While Ohio may be headed into colder temperatures, down south hurricane season continues heading into November.
Subtropical storm Theta formed in the Atlantic Ocean last night, making 2020 the most active hurricane season on record. There have been 29 storms so far.
There were no warnings or watches in place early this morning. The National Hurricane Center predicts Theta will travel east and stay in open water before dissolving.
We're now joined by weather anchor Dan Snyder for a weather update.
Now, Dan, we're seeing Theta's impact is primarily down south right now, but what are the chances that its effects make it up to here to northeast Ohio?
Well, fortunately for us, and more importantly, our own Gulf Coast, who hasn't been able to catch a break in recent years with storms. The once dormant Theta, which could have followed the path of Beta and Eta as everyone was expecting, is now moving east to west away from the Americas. And for the path which Theta is on, the storm itself will face more of an impact than the landfall destination, because at the moment, while the wind speed is escalating towards a rapid 70 miles per hour, as it begins to pass over warm waters later on tonight, it will begin to gain more speed of its circulating center. But later on, as Theta moves over the colder waters late Thursday, early Friday, as it approaches landfall later this week, the storm will be weakened by the colder temperatures and the wind speeds will drop dramatically, which is really just amazing news for the Canary Islands and Azores, because they'll be experiencing nothing more than some strong surfs and some strong winds, but nothing compared to what experts initially thought this was going to hold. Now, if we move back across the Atlantic and focus on more local conditions and what we experienced, we may be in the possibly final days of this hybrid summer-autumn weather, and enjoy it while you can, as northeast Ohio temperatures across the board are ranging in the low 70s, upper 60s, but that will change throughout the week as we can soon expect thunderstorms later on tonight with strong gusts of winds. Around the middle of the night, it should escalate into a strong storm with gusts of winds ranging 15 to 20 miles per hour. That should end right around 5 or 6 a.m., but there is a 33% chance that will continue later on into the morning. Winds later on will come up from the south at 10 miles per hour. Sunrise at 7:08. Hopefully, the thunderstorm clouds will all be gone by then and you can watch a beautiful sunrise. Moving on to our 7-day forecast, we can see that while today was absolutely gorgeous, tomorrow we will see some AM showers leading up possibly later on with 33% chance. Moving off to Thursday, we will see temperatures begin to drop as the precipitation pushes in a cold front, moving in 54 for a high, 36 for a low. We're getting close to those freezing temperatures, perfect for snow conditions. Moving on to our weekend, after a bright and sunny Friday with 51 for a high, we will see partly cloudy conditions with more rain following after. But that's all for your weather forecast for the moment. I've been your weatherman, Dan. We have updates on the Supreme Court and the Senate coming up, followed by a spectacular sports break right here on TV2.
Thanks for that report, Dan. The highest court in the land heard oral arguments today on the future of Obamacare. If struck down, millions of Americans could be affected. CNN's Daryl Forges has the latest on today's hearings.
The United States Supreme Court.
We will hear argument this morning in case 19840, California versus Texas, and the consolidated case.
For the third time, hearing a challenge to the Affordable Care Act, this time with a 6-3 conservative majority with newly seated Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who before her time on the bench had been critical of the previous rulings.
Well, what should we make of the fact that Congress didn't repeal the provision?
At stake, health coverage for more than 20 million Americans, along with coverage for those with pre-existing conditions, and coverage for those who benefit from Medicaid expansion programs and ACA exchanges. At issue, whether or not a 2017 congressional amendment zeroing out the tax penalty for the individual mandate coverage invalidates the entire law. Attorneys for the Trump administration and other Republican state attorneys general say it does, while attorneys for the Democratic-led House of Representatives argue the law can function with or without the individual mandate, an argument that both Chief Justice John Roberts and Trump appointee Brett Kavanaugh seem to side with.
This is a very straightforward case for severability under our precedents, meaning that we would excise the mandate and leave the rest of the act in place.
The court today signaling the Affordable Care Act will likely remain in place even if they rule against the individual mandate. The hearing comes at a critical time as the nation continues to grapple with the coronavirus pandemic. I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
Democratic candidate Cal Cunningham officially conceded in the North Carolina Senate race earlier today. He was up against incumbent Senator Bob Tillis. Tillis won re-election with 48.7% of the vote. This victory gives the GOP 49 seats in the Senate, with Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska looking to become the 50th. Control of the Senate will come down to a runoff election in January, as both of Georgia's Senate seats are up for re-election. And Richard Pilger, the director of the Election Crimes Branch in the Justice Department, resigned from his position on Monday. This comes after Attorney General William Barr told prosecutors to begin examining allegations of voting irregularities. Barr has not provided any further information to back up President Trump's claims of massive voter fraud. Pilger will remain as a prosecutor in the Justice Unit that investigates public corruption.
And following the election, President Donald Trump is looking to form a political action committee, or PAC, to maintain influence in the Republican Party. Spokesperson for Trump's campaign, Tim Murtaugh, said the PAC will allow Trump to find candidate or fund candidates who align the most with his interests. Trump has yet to concede in the presidential race, despite the voter disparity in battleground states.
The Vatican admitted that the late Pope John Paul II was warned about allegations of sexual abuse against former Washington Archbishop Theodore McCarrick, but still promoted him to cardinal in 2001. In 2019, McCarrick became the highest-ranking church figure to be removed over sexual abuse. The Vatican's 2-year internal investigation found a series of bishops and cardinals who downplayed or dismissed reports about McCarrick. Benedict asked for McCarrick's resignation in 2005 after, quote, accusations of harassment and abuse towards adults began to surface once again. But McCarrick did not step down. The report appears to clear current Pope Francis of blame.
Masters tee off later this week. I'll tell you why Kent State fans should pay close attention to this year's tournament later in sports.
And the day before Veterans Day, a gift that will last a lifetime for some vets. How the National Park Service is honoring them in this special way.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University. Streaming online at kentwired.com.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit And now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Jack Berney reporting from home with your TV2 Sports Report. Kent State is looking to go 2-0 for the first time since 1988. That's where we start today. The Flashes have their road opener tonight as they travel to Dwight L. Perry Stadium to take on the Bowling Green Falcons. The Flashes are coming off a come-from-behind win against Eastern Michigan last week, which Dustin Crum led the way in with 3 total touchdowns, including a game winner to Mark Williams late in the fourth to give Kent State the 23-20 win. Bowling Green did not fare as well last week as they lost the battle of I-75 to rival Toledo 38-3. Kent State has taken home the anniversary award in this matchup the last 2 years, but what do they need to do to make it 3 straight wins? Let's take a look at my keys to the game. Key number 1, get Xavier Williams the ball in space. Williams has a 5-game touchdown streak dating back to last season, and Kent State is 5-0 undefeated in those games. Key number 2, have a balanced approach on offense. Last week, Kent State passed for 221 yards and ran for 219 yards, which kept the defense guessing and allowed the playbook to be wide open throughout the duration of the game. And the last key to the game, limit Bowling Green playmakers. Running back Andrew Clare, 84 total yards and a touchdown last year against the Flashes. He is also on the Doak Walker Award watch list. Tight end Quentin Morris was preseason first-team All-MAC. If you can limit those playmakers and do those other 2 keys, I think Kent State wins tonight. And I do have them winning tonight 35-13 and have them starting 2-0 for the first time since 1988. From Tuesday Night Action to last night's Monday Night Football game as the Patriots took on the Jets in an AFC East showdown. And let's go to MetLife. The Jets trying to pick up their first win this year. Joe Flacco is trying to make that happen, dropping back, finding Jamison Crowder for the touchdown, the toe tap. He's in. Jets take a 20-10 lead into halftime, but Cam Newton is going to bring the Patriots back as he finds Demir Bird, who catches it, and he is going to run to the outside. He is going to dive for the pylon. Is he in? No, he is short, but you got 6'5", 250 Cam Newton, who's going to do it himself. He sneaks it in for the touchdown. The Patriots tie the game at 27 late in the fourth. Nick Folk, the kick is up, and it is good. The Patriots win 30-27 and move to 3-5 on the season. And golf fans' favorite week is finally here as the 84th edition of the Masters tee off from Augusta National on Thursday. Among the field vying for the coveted green jacket is Kent State alum Corey Connors. Connors competed in the Masters last season, making the cut and finishing the tournament with an even score. He is part of Group 1 and will tee off 7 a.m. on Thursday. Hopefully Corey Connors can bring home that green jacket and make it 2 big wins for Kent State this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at TV2KSU Sports for live updates on tonight's game versus Bowling Green. You can also watch the game on ESPN2 at 7:30. That's all I have for sports. I'm Jack Berney. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jack. Now, plenty of restaurants and businesses are honoring veterans this year by offering special discounts and freebies on Veterans Day. Notable establishments on the list include Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, Target, Applebee's, and Wendy's. Proof of service, such as military ID, is typically required to take advantage of these offers. And while a majority of the discounts are only being offered to veterans in active duty, Starbucks has extended their free coffee offer to military spouses as well.
And national parks are saluting our nation's veterans and Gold Star families with free access to many of America's landmarks. The Department of Interior says entrance fees for national parks will be permanently waived for veterans and Gold Star families starting today. Gold Star families are military families who lost a loved one in service to this country. The department already waives fees for active duty military service members.
Thanksgiving might look a little bit different this year due to COVID-19, and now the CDC has announced guidelines for the holiday and what measures families should take to limit the spread of the virus. Some of these guidelines include wearing a mask while serving food to those who don't live in your household, and changing any washable linens such as tablecloths and napkins.
TV2's own show, Kent Corps' first ever band to perform, Ankh D, returned last Friday for the first time since the pandemic. A sneak peek of their performance coming up.
McDonald's is the new fast food chain to announce its own, when you can get a taste in 90 seconds.
Smith, I can party with people as long as they don't have symptoms. That myth is false. As we've seen, up to 40% of people who have COVID-19 are asymptomatic and can pass it on to others. So I'd recommend avoiding any social parties, especially indoor ones. If you want to try to socialize but reduce your risk, I'd recommend meeting outside in small groups, continuing to wear a mask, and socially distancing from others if you can. Then together, we can keep COVID-19 out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back. McDonald's is the latest fast food restaurant to get on the plant-based trend. The fast food chain is introducing the McPlant, a plant-based burger. McDonald's is planning to test the new patty in key markets next year. Beyond Meat, a seller of meatless products, says it co-created the patty with McDonald's, and they started testing the burger in Canada last year. If all goes well, the company says it could eventually branch out to plant-based chicken and breakfast sandwiches.
Now, in case you want to work off that McPlant burger, Beyoncé is now partnering with Peloton. The singer signed a multi-year deal with at-home fitness company to create a series of themed workouts. The exercises will vary from cycling to running to yoga and even meditation. Beyoncé revealed she's been a Peloton member for several years. Peloton's popularity and sales skyrocketed during the pandemic. The first Beyoncé curated class, a 30-minute cycling workout, is now live on its app.
Now, the first band to perform on TV2's show Kent Core was Unc D. They returned last Friday for the first time since the pandemic.
Not being able to perform due to social distancing guidelines has been a struggle for the band, so they were happy to have the opportunity to play music once again.
It's a really hard situation because we really feed off audiences and just the live performance, but you know, it's scary and there's nothing you can do, and hopefully soon we'll be out gigging again.
Now, it almost feels like the holiday season except for one thing, and that's these warmer than average temperatures, so I'm really hoping it cools down soon.
For sure. I was definitely shocked when I came outside this morning with the 70-degree temps.
Dan, are we going to be able to see these cooler temperatures anytime soon?
Well, yes. If you're looking for cooler temperatures, then you're in luck. If you are just sick and tired of 75-degree days, then, well, guess what? We got some freezing rain in store starting on Monday. But until then, we have a whole week to get through. Thursday, you will see a cooler, some sun conditions. Friday, I know that's what everyone's looking forward to. Friday, you will see 32nd. Well, I guess that's the weather. That's all we have time for on this Tuesday evening. Thank you for joining us here on TV2. For more news, tune in tomorrow night. Happy Veterans Day.
For the latest updates and breaking news, head to KentWire.com or TV2 KSU on Twitter.
We do not have a show tomorrow because the university is honoring Veterans Day, but TV2 will be back Thursday night at 6. I'm Rachel Gross.
And I'm Chris Abreu. Have a great night, Portage County.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother
mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.